What's good, y'all? It's your boy Tony the Savant back with another one. Let's do the intro. Shout out to the BCE, the SCE, my boy Mello, that's the president. Shout out to my boy Jeezy, that's the manager. Shout out to my cousin Hawk. She's been supporting since day one. I love that and I love you, G. Let me fix this one time, y'all. Alrighty. Yeah. Get the stew right. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. You may have heard, you may have not. I had got the notification this morning. Anthony Davis is now has just signed a 3-year extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. This pretty much seals the deal that he will finish his prime in LA. And at the age of 30, he'll be in LA for sure for the next 5 seasons. At least locked in on the contract. So it brings up the question, what's next for the Lakers? Does this solve all of the problems the Lakers had last season? As they did end their season getting swept by the eventual NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. And also, does this solidify Anthony Davis as one of the great big men, of the Los Angeles Lakers organization? We know that the Lakers have a very rich history when it comes to big men between Wilt, Kareem, Shaq. Trying to think of anybody. Elgin Baylor. Was Elgin Baylor more of like a guard? George McCann. So the Lakers have a very long history of having legendary big man Paul Gasol. Almost got to throw PG in there as well. So will this solidify Anthony Davis in that same class as those guys? Just a couple questions that come up that as we learned that Anthony Davis will now go from making $42 million a year to $62 million. I'm not sure when this contract kicks in, if it kicks in next season. Anyway, I gotta look into that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little unprepared in that fashion because I know, like with Jaylen Brown's historic contract, he's making 31 next year, and then after that, he pretty essentially doubles his yearly income from 30 to 50. Yeah, I believe that's how it goes. But anyway, Anthony Davis just signed his, and this, as far as making history, this will make him this is the biggest annual payout contract in NBA history, as Anthony Davis will be making, like I said before, $62 million a season. So that's epic. That's beautiful. But then it goes down to let's analyze this. It's our turns. Us guys down here on the YouTube. It's time for us to analyze this because we all seen last year what that the Lakers had a number of problems. Mainly the inconsistency of Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis. I was looking at this when I first heard of it, and the first thing I thought of as far as my hot take was, Anthony Davis he either plays like the best player on the team, he's the number one guy, best player. It's when Anthony Davis is on his game, you're getting that A++ Anthony Davis. It's hard to it's when you're watching him, it's hard to think that there's another player in the league that's better than him, honestly. And I've felt like that since his New Orleans days. Anthony Davis, when he's excuse me, when everything is clicking with him, offensively, defensively, and he just, he's in his bag. It's very few players that can hang with him. I've seen him, outplay everybody. Giannis, Joel Embiid. I've seen him outplay Joker. I've seen him outplay DeMarcus Cousins. I've seen him outplay Cat. The thing about it is he's in that class with these guys. And the only reason why we even come close to, comparing these dudes with Anthony Davis, because let's be honest, everybody else has an aspect of Anthony Davis' game. And I'm gonna get into my savant bag. Everybody else and all the other big men in the NBA have an aspect of what Anthony Davis brings to the table. What do I mean by that? Well, if you look at defensively, Anthony Davis is one of the best defensive players in the league right now, but definitely one of the best defensive big men. Puts you in the mind of Giannis. Giannis is comparatively and competitively in that class. But Giannis ain't the offensive player or the offensive threat that Anthony Davis is. Let's be 100. Giannis's jump shot has been our number one concern for how long, y'all? How long? You know what I mean? We've been talking about Giannis's jump shot and how it needs to be developed for years. And so that's a big flaw in Anthony Davis's not Anthony Davis, in Giannis's game. But Anthony Davis is a solid defensive player. You know, you can depend on him. We've seen it in the Golden State and the Memphis series this past playoff run. Offensively, now, I would say that Joel Embiid is probably just a notch better than Anthony Davis offensively. But when I say notch, I'm probably going with half a notch. And I'm only saying that because Joel Embiid ain't the defensive player that Anthony Davis is. He doesn't give as much effort. He's not as effective on the defensive end as Anthony Davis is. And that's why I say, okay, he may be a notch better offensively because he doesn't have to do half the work. Well, he does have to do. He should be doing at least the work that Anthony Davis is doing, but he does not do half the work that Anthony Davis does on the defensive end. So, yes, as well, I would say that offensively, Anthony Davis is elite. Joel Embiid is elite. I'm still going to go with Anthony Davis off of that because he's going to bring that defense as well. We can't bank on Joel Embiid bringing no defense. Playmaking. Now this is an under. I feel like, me personally, I feel like this is a underrated part of Anthony Davis's game. But if you want to couple in, you know, just a little bit more. What am I trying to say? You want to be a little bit more fair when you say these things because I would give playmaking the edge, like I would give the edge to Joel Embiid offensively, and I would probably give the edge defensively to Giannis. Over Anthony Davis. I'm going to give the edge of playmaking to Joker, but that doesn't mean that Anthony Davis isn't capable of being a good playmaker. And if nothing else, Anthony Davis is very capable of being selfless. As we've seen, he displayed that valuable trait teaming up with LeBron. Anthony Davis is a number one draft pick, y'all. Did we forget? Anthony Davis is averaging 24 and almost 25 points for his career, 10 rebounds and 2 assists. 2.5 assists. Anthony Davis is not a slouch. He's not a bum. He's not none of that. The only reason why these guys, Joel, Joker, Giannis, the only reason why we even give them half the daylight as far as being the best big man in the league is because Anthony Davis is inconsistent, y'all. He's inconsistent. And definitely not for no $62 million a year. I don't understand why I don't get how the Los Angeles Lakers have sat in a business room, seen that Anthony Davis, now, fun fact, y'all, he has missed more games as a Laker than he has played. Fun fact, if you want to even call it that. He has won the championship. They did get the 2020 NBA bubble ring. But he's missed more games than he's not been at work more times than he has been at work. So if I'm signing Anthony Davis to a 3-year extension, I already got him for the next 2 years. I don't know if I mentioned that. Anthony Davis was already locked in the contract for the next 2 seasons. So this 3-year extension locks him in for the next 5 years into 2028. I don't get how they sat in the office when he's been in LA since when did he get there? 2019, 2020? He's been there since then, and he has missed more games, y'all, in that time, in that time frame to now, than he's played. And these guys still came up with the decision to pay him an historical $62 million a year. I'm a businessman myself, and I don't think I'm going to pay an employee of mine a substantial amount of more money. I'm not going to give you 2 times more the money that you were. I'm trying to do the math because I just don't. He's going from 42 to 62, and I'm just trying to say. I'm trying to make a point. It's pretty much. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to make a point. I'm not going to give you a pay raise, if I was to say that, and you're not showing up to work. That's just the point of the matter. And then the point is that, like I say, Anthony Davis does play like a franchise. He plays like an all-time great. He plays like a top 75, a top 75 player when he's in his bag. The thing about it is that Anthony Davis will be in his bag for 1 game, and then he would look worse. He would play worse than the role players the very next game. No, guys, y'all ain't hear me right. He won't have a stretch of 5 games of just being the best thing you ever seen on the court. He will have one game where he is the best thing you've ever seen on the court, and then he will proceed to have a game where he is the worst thing you've seen on the court, or at least the most disappointing, because you know what this man is capable of. And so that's why I say I don't understand how the Los Angeles Lakers organization sat in the business room and came up with the decision to give this man a pay raise, in addition the most significant pay raise in NBA history. So that's just my opinion on it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it. And I will say, well, what I would have did it. Anthony Davis is another one of those. He's like a Kawhi Leonard to me, man. Very, very legendary. You know what I mean? When he is playing, like I said, he's one of the best talents I've ever seen. It's hard to think of another player better than him when I'm watching Anthony Davis getting his bag. But he's not there. He's not available. We've seen this. Fortunately for Anthony Davis, though, he has been able to get a ring in LA, unlike the Kawhi Leonard. Unlike Kawhi Leonard. So I think that gives Anthony Davis a little bit more leeway and leniency, and justifies his paycheck a little bit more. I know the Los Angeles Clippers, y'all don't know if y'all seen that video, they've been hesitant about giving Kawhi his money, but I'd say that for the next video. Anyway, it's your boy Tony the Savant. Y'all please like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content. It really does help support the channel. I love working. I ain't stopping, so I would be much obliged if y'all start to support, because I'm gonna keep working. Hopefully y'all enjoy this stuff. If not, I'm gonna step up my game. I'm always looking into ways and watching other people, if you will, definitely the professionals. I watch how they go about it, and I say, hey, I'm gonna incorporate that into what I do. I'm not biting nobody's style. I just respect what everybody else does, and I say, hey, I like what you do over there. I'm gonna do something I'm gonna do one thing that you do in my way, in my own fashion, in my style, and that's just so my audience, y'all, can be fully entertained. You know what I mean? Y'all can be fully informed on what's going on in this sports world. But that's all I got for y'all today. Like I said, please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. I'm not a player. I'm not a coach. I'm a savant. Peace.